Hey, welcome. Sometimes the most profound ideas don't come from some dense textbook, but from a single, really powerful question. Today, that's what we're doing. We're going to take apart one of those questions, something posted online, to really get at the raw human observation at its core. So, let's get into it. Okay, so here it is. This is the question we're going to unpack today. In the original Hindi, it asks, "Logo ka itna daru ki lat kaise hai? Aur daru peene ke baad hi sach kyun bolte hain?" Which, basically means, how are people so addicted to alcohol they can't live without it, and why do they only speak the truth after drinking? Right away, you can tell this isn't a clinical question. It's a raw, honest observation about human behavior that I think many of us have probably wondered about ourselves. So, to really get to the heart of what's being asked here, we need to realize it's actually two completely distinct ideas that have been fused into one powerful thought. Our first step has to be to carefully pull them apart. Here's the first part. And notice, this isn't really asking about the science of addiction. It's coming from a place of witnessing a dependency that looks so strong, it's like it just completely takes away a person's choice. It's a question about the sheer visible power that alcohol can seem to have over a person. And then you get this twist. The question pivots from dependency to behavior. The observation here is that alcohol doesn't just intoxicate, it seems to act almost like a truth serum, right? It unlocks something inside that's normally hidden away. All right, let's really focus on that first half of the question for a minute, because the specific language that was used here is so telling. The person who wrote this didn't just use any old word for addiction, they chose a very specific and very potent one. The word is lat. Now, in Hindi, this isn't just a habit. Oh no, it goes way deeper than that. This word implies a deep, almost parasitic craving, a compulsion. It's that feeling of being completely in the grip of something, and that feeling is absolutely central to the emotional weight of this question. And what's so fascinating here is that the question itself gives us the definition. The author isn't looking for some textbook answer. They define lat through their own observation. It's simply the state of not being able to live without something. It's a purely human definition, born from watching the world. This phrase right here, this is the anchor for the entire observation. I mean, just think about how absolute it is. It's not they struggle without it or they have a hard time. It's they cannot live without it. That is a declaration of necessity, as if alcohol were air or water. That's the level of dependency being described. Okay, so we've spent some time unpacking the dependency side of things. Now, let's pivot to the second and maybe more philosophical part of the question, this deep connection between being intoxicated and telling the truth. The key word here is sach, or truth. But what kind of truth are we really talking about? Is it objective fact, or is it something way more personal? See, the crucial thing to realize is that the question itself operates on an assumption. The assumption that whatever is said while drunk is the truth, period. This visual really lays out the core conflict, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the normal state, which implies that our thoughts are held back, zipped up. But on the right, in the intoxicated state, that barrier just gets shattered. The question is basically suggesting that sobriety is a kind of mask, and alcohol is the one thing that can take it off. And this is the question we really have to ask ourselves. What does truth even mean here? Is it a long-held secret that finally boils over? Is it a brutally honest, unfiltered opinion that sobriety would have, softened and made more polite? Or maybe it's just a raw emotional confession. The power of the original question is that it doesn't say, leaving all of us to fill in that blank from our own lives. So let's bring this all back together. We've taken the two parts and analyzed them. Now, why is the combination of them just so powerful? Why does it resonate so much? Well, it all boils down to this incredible paradox. On one hand, alcohol is seen as this unbreakable chain, a prison that someone can't escape from. But on the other hand, it's also seen as the key that unlocks that very same person's most authentic self. It's both the cage and the key. And this is really the ultimate takeaway. The whole point of this explainer wasn't to give a scientific lecture. It was to just appreciate the question itself as this profound piece of human observation. It perfectly captures that confusion and curiosity we all feel when we're trying to make sense of the complex and sometimes really contradictory behavior of the people around us. Which leaves us with this final, much broader question that was totally inspired by our source material. The original query kind of forces us to wonder about the nature of identity itself. Is your true self the version that carefully filters every thought for social harmony? Or is it that unfiltered, raw consciousness that lies just beneath the surface? What is our truth? What we think? Or what we say? It's definitely something to ponder. Thanks for watching.